The mystery of the Upside Down. There is a place in Stranger Things that feels familiar, yet completely wrong. A world that looks like our own, but darker, colder, and filled with decay. This place doesn't just exist to scare us. It exists to tell a story. The Upside Down is not just a spooky setting. It is the heart of Stranger Things. Every monster, every disappearance, and every strange event connects back to this shadow world. From the very first season, the show makes one thing clear. The Upside Down is alive. It watches. It listens. And it remembers. As the series goes on, the mystery grows deeper, revealing secrets that connect science, trauma, memory, and fear in ways that are easy to miss if you're not paying close attention. So let's step back into the darkness and uncover the secrets, monsters, and hidden connections of the Upside Down. What the Upside Down really is. At first, the Upside Down feels like a parallel universe. A mirror image of Hawkins, frozen in time. Buildings are in the same place. Streets follow the same layout. But everything is covered in ash-like particles, tangled vines, and death. This world feels stuck on the day it was created. Cars don't move. Lights don't work properly. And time itself feels broken. That's because the Upside Down isn't just another dimension. It's a twisted reflection of reality, shaped by human actions. When the gate was first opened, it didn't just tear a hole in space. It created a scar. And scars don't heal easily. The Upside Down reacts to emotions, especially fear. The more fear spreads in Hawkins, the stronger this world becomes. It feeds on chaos. It grows through pain. And it expands through connection. The first doorway and the cost of curiosity. Everything begins with an experiment. A moment where curiosity crosses a line. Scientists believed they were reaching into something unknown, something powerful. But they didn't understand what they were touching. When the gate opened, the Upside Down didn't invade instantly. It waited. Like a virus, it studied its environment. It learned how people move, think, and feel. The Upside Down doesn't rush. It spreads slowly, quietly, and intelligently. And once it finds a way in, it never truly leaves. This explains why closing gates never feels permanent. Because the connection remains. The monsters are not random. Every monster in Stranger Things looks terrifying, but none of them exist without purpose. The Demogorgon is not just a creature. It's a hunter. It tracks blood. It senses fear. And it moves between worlds with ease. Later, we see creatures that act less like animals and more like soldiers. They follow commands. They move together. They attack with intention. This tells us something important. The Upside Down has a mind. Not every monster thinks independently. Some are connected to a larger intelligence, sharing thoughts, pain, and purpose. That's why when one creature is hurt, others react. They are part of a network. And at the center of that network is control. The Mind Flayer and the idea of control. The Mind Flayer isn't just a villain. It represents something deeper. Control. It doesn't simply attack people. It breaks them from the inside. It takes memories, fears, and weaknesses, then uses them as weapons. The Mind Flayer doesn't want to destroy the world immediately. It wants to own it. This explains why it targets minds instead of bodies. Why it manipulates rather than rushes. The Upside Down doesn't win through strength alone. It wins through connection. Once someone is connected, breaking free becomes almost impossible. Unless there is love. Unless there is trust. Unless there is someone willing to fight back. Why Hawkins is so important. One of the biggest mysteries is why everything happens in Hawkins. Why not a bigger city? Why not somewhere more powerful? The answer is simple. Hawkins is small, quiet, and easy to overlook. That makes it the perfect place to experiment. The perfect place for something dark to grow unnoticed. But Hawkins also has something else. Strong emotional bonds. Friendships. Families. Loyalty. And those connections become the biggest threat to the Upside Down. Because while fear strengthens it, love weakens it. Every time the characters come together, the Upside Down loses control. 11 and the human connection. 11 is the bridge between worlds. She is proof that the Upside Down is not separate from humanity. It reacts to people, especially powerful emotions. When 11 uses her abilities, the world responds. Walls crack. Lights flicker. Reality bends. Her power doesn't come from anger alone. It comes from memory, love, loss, pain. The Upside Down mirrors this. It is shaped by emotional energy. That's why it feels personal. Why it attacks in ways that feel targeted. It's not random destruction. It's emotional warfare. Time feels frozen for a reason. One of the strangest details is that the Upside Down seems stuck in the past. Clocks don't move. Technology doesn't progress. Everything feels frozen. This could mean the Upside Down was created at a specific moment and never evolved past it. But it could also mean something darker. It may represent trauma. Trauma freezes people in time. It traps them in moments they can't escape. The Upside Down behaves the same way. It repeats patterns. It replays pain. It refuses to move forward. And unless that trauma is faced, it only grows stronger. Hidden connections you probably missed. The show constantly shows mirrors, reflections, and shadows. Characters talk through walls, through radios, through flickering lights. These are not just visual effects. They symbolize connection. No matter how separate the worlds seem, they are always touching. Even when the gate is closed, the influence remains. That's why the story never truly resets. Every season builds on emotional consequences from the last. Nothing is forgotten. The Upside Down remembers everything. Why the story feels so personal. What makes Stranger Things special is that the horror never feels empty. Every scary moment connects to a character's inner struggle. Fear of losing friends. Fear of being alone. Fear of not being enough. The Upside Down reflects those fears. It becomes a physical version of what the characters feel inside. That's why defeating monsters is never enough. They have to face themselves too. What the Upside Down ultimately represents. At its core, the Upside Down is about what happens when darkness is ignored. When the stakes are hidden. When fear is left untreated. When power is used without responsibility. It reminds us that the most dangerous monsters don't always come from the outside world. They often emerge from neglect, secrecy, and unchecked actions. It is a reflection of our own failings, a mirror of the hidden fears and consequences we refuse to face. And the only way to truly overcome these horrors is through honesty, unity, and courage, by confronting the truth, standing together, and choosing to act despite the fear that tries to hold us back. The Upside Down, in essence, is both a warning and a lesson. Darkness grows when ignored, but light can prevail when we face it head-on. The Upside Down isn't just a scary place. It's a warning. A reminder that every action has consequences. That curiosity without care can destroy worlds. And that connection is the strongest force of all. As long as people stand together, the darkness can never fully win. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysteries of Stranger Things, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another breakdown of your favorite movies and series. Comment below and tell us, what do you think the Upside Down really is? And remember, some doors, once opened, are never truly closed.